Hello, welcome to Emotional Badass, where Moxie meets Mindful. I'm your host, Nikki Eisenhower, life coach and psychotherapist, and today we are going to discuss gratitude, faith, and spirituality. Hello, emotional badasses. I have to start the show thanking you, and I don't quite know how. And I'll have to do that and get through it without getting too teary, I think, or just getting teary and letting me do it. You guys, I launched this show 5 weeks ago, and we have been downloaded in 37 countries. I can't believe that when I look at the little map that I can see of where these downloads are happening. My mind explodes and maybe my heart explodes more. I want to talk to you today about how that connects with faith and spirituality for me and try to teach from this place of exactly where I am in this moment, because that's what I want for you. That's how I think we learn the best. It's how I learn the best, is when my healers really show me intimately what's going on behind the scenes with them. I don't really learn so much from the painted perfect picture of kind of cultivated and curated persona that I see out there. So I hope by showing you a little bit of my messy behind the scenes process, it helps you if you resonate with me. Seeing these numbers, seeing how much I am being heard, has me remembering one of my first jobs. Believe it or not, my little organic eating self worked in a fast food restaurant when I was a teenager. And I remember after a couple months of working, it was really helping me come out of my shell. And a guy from school, I was in high school, and a guy from school got a job there and walked in. And when he saw me, he said, "Oh my God, you are the mute girl." And I didn't know what he was talking about. It shocked me to have someone name that I was mute. I think because I have such a rich inner world and always have, that I really didn't realize that someone would perceive me that way. He sat behind me in a class and proceeded to tell me the story of sitting behind me for an entire semester. And he made it his mission to try to get me to talk. Every single day he would ask me for a pencil. Now I started picking up on this, and because I didn't want to talk, because I was so painfully awkward and shy and in my shell, every day I'd make sure I had pens and pencils to give this guy because I knew he would ask me. So wordlessly, each day he would say, "Hey, tap me on the shoulder. Do you have a pen or a pencil?" trying to engage me. And I'd just reach in my bag, unzip, and hand him the pen or the pencil. And when he started working there, we had so many laughs and jokes about that he really tried hard to get me to speak, to come out of my shell, and he just couldn't. It took that job really helping me come out of my shell and so many other things. So here I am, that girl that someone once said, "Wow, you're the mute girl." And I have a show that's being downloaded in 37 countries. That's mind-blowing and mind-numbing. And I share that with you because so many of you out there I know are struggling, and you're in your struggle. You're in your hardship. You're in a time of a broken heart or a big giant fear, and you have no idea how to get from where you are to healing or to safe or to where you want to be, or from whatever you think was your born personality. Like I thought I was just so quiet, right? You have no idea how to get from where you are right now to a good place. And I want you to know that you can get there. If I can go from mute to being on this microphone and allowing myself to be heard in such a way, there's so much that you can do. And you don't have to know how to get there or what's going to happen. I couldn't have mapped that out. That 16-year-old girl had no idea how to get to a place of being heard the way that I am currently being heard, the way that I am currently speaking up. I had no idea back then how to get to this kind of healthy. So if you're there, please use my story, hang on to it. I can't help people get taller. That we can't change. But anything that you're working on emotionally that you envision for yourself, that you hope for, that you want to be, know that you can figure that out even if you have no idea how to do that right now. It just starts with taking the next first step. And maybe that next first step for you is just listening to this show today, just allowing some openness, some hope, some possibility that you could possibly get to a place without having the roadmap in front of you. I have to thank all the people who have gotten on iTunes and left me reviews. That wasn't just a review for me. That is working this iTunes algorithm, getting this show, Emotional Badass, in front of more people, 37 countries. That is bigger than I was even allowing myself to dream. This HSP, this highly sensitive person tribe that I'm a part of, that I've been looking for, that I've been seeing in my therapy practice and with my coaching clients over the years, we are so powerful. That is what my tribe did. And if my tribe can do that for me in this show and the world, you are so powerful in your own life, even when you can't feel that. I'm going to name everyone who's written me a review, not in this show, but I'm going to start with 5. I want to thank Topper Joy. I want to thank Colorful Light. I want to thank Emma San number 9, Taggernaut, and the Jones Family 07. And I will get to the rest of you in future shows, I promise. Yes, I have just been told today that some of you have already gotten on Patreon. I have to look at Patreon again. I created that when I thought maybe 25 people will listen and download this show. I thought it would be months and months and months and I could revamp that. Now that things have kind of blown up, I have a better picture of what I need. So bear with me, please. If you want to give to Patreon, bear with me as I figure that out. I promise if you've already gotten on there and donated, I'll make sure that it feels worth it to you as I figure all of this out and catch up and take care of my private practice at the same time and myself. I want to share something that I envisioned sharing maybe a year into this show. But if there's something that I've learned about healing and the world and being courageous, it's that often I get these ideas in my head like, oh, I'll make this happen in my time when I'm ready, when I'm nice and comfortable with something. And often in my life, maybe it happens in yours this way too. The universe seems to come down, laugh in my face and say, ha, 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 Nikki, not in your time. The time is now. Do it now, whether you're comfortable or not. I am a survivor of sexual abuse that happened in my home as a child. And the short story is that I grew up and I worked really hard to put him in prison. On the second day of this year, 2018, living my New Year's excitement, I got a call that told me he was going to be released from prison 6 years early. He was released a little over a month ago, and I tried really hard to get a lot of media attention. I tried to get all the right eyes and ears on this issue. I did everything that I could in a very vulnerable public way to try to get him to serve his full sentence for 4 official victims. I couldn't do it, and I felt like a failure. At the time, I felt crushed. I cried a lot. It was hard. But I felt this little voice in me that kept saying and kept holding me, saying, hang tight. Good is going to come out of this. Good is going to come out of this. And it felt so determined. Spirituality for me is feeling connected to the energy in the universe, to every living being that is around me, that is alive. That felt like a spiritual force telling me to hang tight, hold on. And when I started seeing these show numbers take off, I felt that little voice whispering, almost laughing at me, saying, see, this is where you're supposed to be heard, over here. And it's so true. I'm going to be able to be so much more impactful with this show and this message than with the other. That's how my spirituality works for me. So if you're in the middle of something hard and you have no idea where the next good thing is coming from and you feel like life has just smacked the shit out of you, take a deep breath, step back, and find the mantra that you need. It's really hard to trust in a spirituality if you come from a dysfunctional family, if you come from dysfunctional religious dynamics, if you were abused by anyone in any kind of church. That can be really hard if we can't trust our parents to be safe, if we can't trust a religious organization or people to be safe. It's hard to trust an invisible spirituality. So if you need to, because spirituality or believing or faith in anything good has been hard, I offer you mine. You don't have to feel it yet for yourself. If you feel a little bit of spiritual spark just by hearing me share my story and my eternal gratitude today, use that for you. I'm happy to let you use it. It means positivity, hope, and healing comes out of the hardest parts of my story. None of us get hurt by the world in some kind of isolated bubble. And I believe none of us heal in some kind of isolated bubble too. Thank you so much for being part of my tribe, for supporting this show, for spreading it, for opening to healing and possibility. I am so inspired to keep working for you and getting these messages out there. Thank you so, so much. Additionally, I could not do this show without my amazingly gifted producer, Chris from Pomp Digital. I love you, your support, your encouragement. Your production skills are top notch, as we can hear in the show. Thank you. It really does take a team. Thank you for being part of my team. And thank you, tribe, for being part of my tribe. This is Nikki Eisenhower for Emotional Badass.